sometimes it's overlooked what an important role many of the nonprofits and other community organizations play in our community. As a matter of fact, if one would really check, they would be able to detect measurable and documentable differences that organizations make in our community. So they are very, very important. And it's also important that we acknowledge and accept and appreciate, and inform and publicize some of the activities and projects that some of the organizations are doing. So from time to time, we have members and officials from these organizations on a call to action, which is the name of this show, hosted by Alex E. Havisham. We have them on the show to kind of highlight what they are doing to give them an opportunity to blow their horn. Not only that, but to solicit community support and to kind of move forward with many of their programs and initiatives. Today, I'm just so happy to be able to feature a very, very important organization, not only from a local perspective, but also a historical one. And that organization is the 100, also formerly known as the 100 Black Men of Macon and Middle Georgia. And today, we've got the newly elected president. He's newly taken office in a way of the 100, and they just transformed or just passed the gavel from Mr. Moore to Mr. Bruce Riggins. How you doing, man?
Great, Alex. Rather, Mr. Havisham to me still. I've watched you for a long time, so it's still Mr. Havisham to me.
Yeah, well, no, you don't have to speak of my age. You can call me Alex or AC, okay?
Well, it's just a habit for me to respect.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, much respect. Glad to be on your show today. I'm honored to be the newly elected president of the 100. It's an organization that's near and dear to my heart. I've worked in it for probably about 13 years. I worked my way towards, I had a vision of being one day leading the 100. So, it's like anything else, it's a sacrifice. And people oftentimes say they don't have time to do things. You just got to make time to do it. There's never going to be the right time. If you wait on the right time, you'll miss out. So I'm here to take the ride now.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're here. And, I want to tip my hat to you for your conscientiousness and your involvement in the community, and you're willing to support and help, the community and individuals in the community. I know a lot of stuff you do that you don't even know that I know you do. So I really, really appreciate that. But before we get too deeply into the 100, let's talk a little bit about Bruce Riggins and your company and what you're doing, because I think that you're being able to successfully run a company contribute significantly, to your being involved in the community. And Bruce, I'm saying that because we want other individuals, if you've been able to accomplish something, to achieve something, or to make some money, the thing that bothers me about people with money, millionaires and billionaires, is that money came from somewhere.
Absolutely.
They didn't generate, they might have generated, but they didn't create it, by themselves. So it kind of befuddles me, frankly, to see people who got a lot of money, people who made a lot of money, and people who got money, literally the bird, and they get all arrogant, not understanding that they were able to accumulate that wealth because somebody gave up some money in order for them to have it. So, but I appreciate the fact that you are a successful businessman. Matter of fact, since you dated me, I knew your dad because I was a little boy, but I still knew your dad. who was, you come from good stock, uh, Cicero, Riggins, who also was very involved in the community and ran several businesses. So talk a little bit about that heritage and what you're doing now and how that positioned you to be in a position, frankly, to be the president of the 100 in Central Georgia.
Well, uh, my grandfather was an entrepreneur. He had a little country store, and I watched him. Then my father, he had several businesses in Macon, downtown. I I can't count them. There were so many. There was someone came along and said, if you tell Mr. Cicero how to make some money, he's on board with it. So, and that was true. He would give you a shot, give you a chance, and I think I learned a lot from that. And I really do believe in people. I've had several jobs. I started out at Morehouse College, but I did not complete it. But I learned a lot from going to Morehouse College, and I'm still networking with most of my people. Do a lot of give back there as well. Just keep in touch with all the people, and that has formed the way I think now, what I do for the community. I always thought if I made more money, it would be satisfying. That's not what's satisfying to me. Satisfying to me is seeing other people do well. As you know, I'm a very social individual. I share my space, my home with people. And I feel like if you don't put anything in, you won't get anything out. People like to go to other places. I like to be in Macon. I like to be in Macon because it's something I'm building. You can always go pick from a tree someone else planted, but I want to sow the seed here, and I want to reap the benefits here, and I want my son to do the same. So my son is in the business with me. We have a local long distance moving service here, Cicero's Moving and Storage. Of course, Ms. Harris has seen us grow. It hasn't always been easy. We often say people don't see the process. The people don't need to see the process. They just need to be inspired. Because if you see the process, you might not go through it. So that's real. So if anything I can do, I try to help my community. I really do. And there's a sacrifice, because at home, sometimes my wife would be like, what are you doing now? But that's part of being me. So sometimes you take a beating sometimes, but I want to see my community prosper. I want to see the people that are successful. And I don't care if it's a business exactly like mine or whatever, I'm going to help that individual grow, because together we can make a big difference.
That's absolutely true. And then I'm going to give a testimony as it relates to your involvement in the community. I know you try to eat at every restaurant downtown and go to every bar. I see you downtown. You said, well, let's try this. Matter of fact, I went to Tapas with you, which was, I probably never would have gone, not for any negative reason, but you said, well, let's go here. And we went there and I enjoyed the food. So, you are a testament and a testimony to what we can do. A rising tide raises the whole ship. And all of us can pour some water in the ocean, to help that tide to rise. And then, as that tide rises, then we rise too, and then the community improves. And then go ahead and plug. As a matter of fact, you're so interested in your hometown and downtown in your community that you are investing in something commercially downtown, right?
So currently we're underway with a cigar lounge, upscale cigar lounge, with some membership. Churchill's on Cherry. I drive my own truck sometimes. I go a lot of places. But what I want to do is what I'm doing, bring some of the things back to Macon that I saw somewhere else. And I encourage people with some resource to do that and bring it to you, bring it to your town. The people want to see it. It might take a minute, but it'll work. I am very excited about this, and I hope you will patronize me, but there will be something there for you to be proud of.
Okay, well, that's important. And let me tell you why this is relevant. Because in order, and this is for young people, specifically, and some old folk who may not have known this, in order for you to position yourself to be a leader and to head up an organization or to have influence, then you got to pay some dues. And that's why I talk to Bruce. You got to have the right spirit, the right kind of heart. Yeah, he's the president of 100 Black men, but he didn't just pop his finger and get there and be there. And then I wanted him to tell his story because hopefully that will inspire and motivate more of us. Number one, to get in, if in fact you experience some kind of success, you got an obligation to give back, particularly if you Black. Particularly if you Black. Because a lot of folk who look like me and Bruce, we're of the darker kind and loving it every minute.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who look like us, a lot of people paid a whole lot of dues. A lot of people became darker kind because they were burned. And that was a sacrifice for us to get in a position to own businesses downtown, to be involved in the community, to be on boards in the community. This didn't always happen. So we want to applaud Bruce for his designation as the president of the 100, but we also want to familiarize the community with what it takes and the obligation that we have to get involved and to be involved. Talk about involvement.
So Alex, I'll interrupt for a minute. I want to say this, as a kid, and as a young adult too, I would always say, I wonder what my father's doing. Why don't he just enjoy some money instead of putting it back into this that may not make it, might make it, whatever. That was my mindset for that time. But now I see what he was doing. It has greatly benefited me. It has benefited the community. It has benefited my son, my daughter. It goes a long way. My wife works in my office. We're not employed by anyone else. That's it. And I think when people see you, and one of the mottos of the 100 is what they see is what they'll be. And I feel like when they see us, they see something they would like to aspire to be. That means more than money could ever do for me. Ever do. The only thing I do with more money, Alex, is try to buy more things. And that's not satisfying. It just gives me more of a headache.
I won't say what you stocked up on the other day. You know what I mean? we won't bring that up. We don't want to go there right now.
This business downtown started too. I gotta take this out.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the 100. Talk about how when it began to the basis on your knowledge and your what you know about it, and then also talk about some of the activities previously, and talk about where you would like to see some of the involvement that you would like to do.
Absolutely. Well, I took a few notes. I've been trying to do my homework, but what I do know, the 100 began in '63 in New York, and with some like-minded men wanting to make a difference in their community. It makes a difference when it's in your community and people like yourself. When you invest in yourself, other people invest in you too. So that's how the 100 got started for people who were just, I would say, disenfranchised, just the youth. Like I said, what they see is what they'll be. So they put a positive image out there. And fast forward years later, there's about 110 chapters, 125,000, 10,000 members. And we serve about 125,000 youth every year.
Wow.
Yeah. So that really caught on. And so in 1996, the people you probably heard of, Virgil Adams, Billy Pitts, and Sam Hart led the charge to start the uh, organization, start a chapter here in Macon. So so they have done a great job in moving the chapter forward. They've had some great programs over the years. I think which will allow me to do what I need to do. They kept the ball rolling, but I think it's time now to shift gears a little bit. Not necessarily slow down, get it moving some more. I really want to engage the youth. We don't necessarily engage them enough. We don't hear them. We stay in the limelight too long, and including myself. But I'm quickly getting up on the off ramp. If they need me, they know where to find me. I would definitely help them do anything I can. But I'm still learning about the 100. It's a great organization, do a lot of things. The thing that got me really involved were the people like Billy Pitts, Sam Hart, Jimmy Samuel, all those, because what they see is what they'll be. So I went to one of their galas they had, and I was always, my dad was already friends with Virgin, all those. So I went there, I was like, oh, this is nice. This is what I'll do. And they showed a program where they adopted a 5th grade class and guaranteed their secondary education. And they lived up to that. And that was a big thing. And I said, I want to do that. I want to be a part of somebody that does that for their community. So there are a lot of other little things they do in the community that that we don't necessarily hear about. That's another thing I want to do. I want to engage our community partners a little more. I want to be out there. I want people to know what we do, because people really want to help. They want to help. And I'm more on the glass half full than half empty. We talk about how people are these days. I think there are a lot of great people out here. They just like to see other people doing good things, and it rubs off. Don't be afraid to take charge and lead the way. You know, somebody's got to follow, and somebody's got to lead. And the 100, like I say, it's near and dear. We have some programs. We have a Career Fest, which, college and Career Fest college have colleges come in the area. Students from each high school in Middle Georgia area, if they want to participate, we try to encourage them to participate, because there are about 3,000 people come through at the Centralplex. And some of them can get accepted for college that day. There are future employers there. It's a great day, and I may be rambling over it, but it's very exciting to me, very exciting to me. And I involve my son. He's 24. I like, this is what we're gonna do. I show them the way too. I try to show them the way. My daughter is a little different, but but my son, he's under my wing. Yeah.
That's outstanding, and it's my understanding that, I don't know whether it's approved or not, but the 100 is establishing some initiative to try to get younger men involved in what they're doing.
We are. We have what is called the Emerging 100, which includes young men from 21 to 34, and it's at a reduced level of for the dues structure, so we can be inclusive. We want to be inclusive because they have ideas, but they haven't. Sometimes they haven't gotten there yet. And so we want them to come. They have some great ideas. And look, I'm getting gray as you, Alex, or grayer. And somebody's got to do the legwork. I'll tell you, somebody's got to do the legwork. That's the bottom line. And they're good at that. And I think they want to be heard. And I want to hear them. I definitely want to hear them. And we have the Collegiate 100, which is a college, which is young men in college. And they form a chapter at that college. And they do great things. We started one at Fort Valley before. Those guys were energetic. They were energetic. Really enjoyed them. And there was some little snags, and so we got to start back over with it. And it's in the process. And I know a few people that want to join the Emerging 100. I think right now, what I'm trying to do is fortify membership, because as you know, everything we do takes money. And you know, I was afraid to ask for money before, but nobody else is afraid to ask for money. So I'm asking for money. Hey, we got to get these things done.
Yeah.
We got to get it done. But I want to be a good steward of people's money, though. At the same time, I don't want to just have money, just have money. So we need to use it, you know, wisely.
Yeah. Okay. What if there are some individuals in the community? What's the process to become a member of the 100?
Well, either you go to the website, which is 100blackmenmmg.org, look for the application, or there's someone I might know, and I'll ask them, and I'll go have them go to the website and take a look at. You know, we'll talk to them. And what I'm trying to do now is go back to what Billy Pitts had to. Now, he had a good idea, information session, so we can know exactly what someone is doing, what we're doing, what our mission is, whatever. And, you know, have all that explained. And what I like to tell people, if you look for instant gratification, this is not it. It's a journey. It's a journey. And we want measurable successes. If we can do that, well, you can hand that. It's like a relay. Watch the Olympics. You got to advance it. Somebody else will take it.
Yeah.
It's like a relay.
Yeah.
So if we can get those, if we can do that with the people and engage our youth and make measurable differences in our community with these young men and frankly women too, young women, and we just gotta do a better job of that. And but we can't knock ourselves in the head, because we just want to give people a platform. Give them a platform, new platform. And I think the 100 Black Men of Macon, Middle Georgia can provide a platform, because there are other organizations, but it's going to take all of us. We're not competing against one another.
Right.
We're supplementing one another.
Right.
Or complementing each other.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
That's all we're doing. If you look at it that way, we're going to make a difference.
That's outstanding. It's my understanding that, you know, what kind of activities you got coming up in the near future?
In the near future, we have October 4th, we have the golf tournament, Jimmy Samuel Music City Golf Tournament. And that's a nice fundraiser, good time be had by all. You know, I'm a very social guy. So we will have some activities surrounding that. They don't run me out of town. So I hope they let me remain president until that time. But October 4th is, you know, go to 100blackmenmmg.org, register for the golf tournament. We need you. We need you there. And that's a fundraiser to do some of the activities and programs we have. We also have with this COVID, we kind of slowed down. We had Troop 100, where we have a Boy Scout troop. It's very, 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 and I was enlightened a lot by one of our members. Told me more than I knew about the Boy Scout. I am pushing Troop 100. We're going to expand it, and hopefully we can get it to where we have Eagle Scout come out of there. So if you know of anybody, you know, that wants to join Troop 100, let us know. Love to engage.
Well, that's so very important. And, you know, I too learned quite a bit about the Boy Scouts and through Garrett Williams, who's the president, executive director of the Central Georgia Council. But I think that you and I are doing the right thing in pushing the Boy Scouts. There are a lot of mothers out there, or cousins, or uncles, or what have you, who are trying to find some activities, trying to find a way to address some of the problems in the community, particularly as it relates to, these boys. Well, I didn't know that the Boy Scouts got a program for doggone everything imaginable.
Yes,
So if
everything.
I think that the community needs to be more familiar with the Boy Scouts and all of the programs that it offers. As a matter of fact, Bruce, I interviewed Weston Stroud, who's an
I
outstanding
saw it.
young man. And then I had learned, a couple of things about the Boy Scouts, but he told me in no uncertain terms that next to his parent, his mom, Judge Colvin, and some other influences, the most important thing in his life that directed him and influenced him was being a member of the Boy Scouts. So the Boy Scouts organization is real. And then I applaud you and I will assist you. We need to talk about Troop 100,
Yes.
to do whatever we can to try to get more young. Because look, all of these problems in our community, the good things, we ought to reap the benefits of the good things. But, we got to get involved in the problems too. It's a community issue. And I think the Boy Scouts will be a vehicle, to address some of those issues if we, in fact, get more boys in it, support scouting more, and understand the role that scouting can play in our community.
So yes, Alice, the night that Garrett explained that to me, I would donate a little to the scouting because of the people I knew. I want to write him a check that night because of what they did. But they've got a donor regardless of who asked me now. I am going to donate to the scout.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was eye-opening for me. I mean, it really was. Yeah.
And then I'm sure that, those of you who want to learn more about scouting, and I'm sure they got a donate button on their website too. You can just Google Central Georgia Boy Scouts, or you could call, you can go to their website, or you could look them up, call the Boy Scouts office, and they can make a difference in our community. So we ought to be very, very supportive. And like I just committed to you, Mr. President, that in any way that I can, then I will assist you, particularly with that Troop 100 thing. And then I want the whole community to be more aware. This will be a vehicle where we can all be involved. If you don't have any kids, you can donate or you can volunteer. You can be a scoutmaster. But I'm sure that President Riggins is going to have some initiatives associated with scouting.
Absolutely.
And it will be allowable, if you please, for everybody to get involved. How would you like to, is there a way that the community can help you in your endeavors to, to give more outreach or have more outreach for the 100?
Well, I think, as I said before, if you want to help. Don't wait. Don't say when I have time. Don't say, don't say anything about the problem and look for your neighbor to solve it. We always identify the problem, but we're too busy to solve the problem or help work on the problem. That's a syndrome we all have. And we have that syndrome. Oh, I'll let Alex take care of that. But that's a problem, but I got to go to work. Alex has to go to work too. So, I mean, what?
My light bill ain't free.
We all got to go. But there's a balance, but you benefit from making that balance. When you ignore the problems that you have, we get some of the things that are going on now that because they're ignored. We look for somebody else to solve the problem, and we just keep. We put too much stock. Look, we got to have money, but you put too much stock, and we have too many. Which put too much stock in going to work and making that dollar. You got to have both. You got to have both. I could make more money. I'm not. Yeah, I'm interested in doing it the right way now, and where it includes give me some time with my family, definitely some time with my community, and it's just a balance. You're never gonna have enough. Put it that way. But you can always get peace. You can always get peace by participating in your time. It's like Alex said. I go downtown. I love downtown. I do. I go to the restaurant and I get a kick out of people knowing who I am when I walk in the door. I mean, I say that I would tip. I mean, look, this pandemic, those people are suffering. I'm not saying I have the money, but I'm gonna suffer with them. I'm gonna tip them. If they come out of their house to go to work, I'm gonna tip them. Because if they weren't there, guess what I'd be? I'd be at home in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm coming out to see them. And I want them to come back, and they risk their lives, their family lives for not much money. So I want to share that with them. And I hope they see this and they need to know that. I want to share it with anybody that served me, my family. If anybody's with me, I'm paying attention to what they tipping. Like, bottom line, I'm paying attention. I might not ask you, but I'll take care of the people who are with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take care of it. It's just, I've grown a lot and I'm still growing. And I try to teach my son those things. Those are valuable lessons. I learned a lot from my father. You know, you don't know till they're gone. My father's gone. But like I tell all my friends, just keep preaching. When you're gone, they heard you. They might challenge you a little bit, but they heard you.
Yeah.
Don't make a big difference in their lives.
Yeah.
As long as you're preaching positive stuff.
Yeah.
Not stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've seen Mr. Habersham all over town, all over TV, all my life. I thought I had met a star when I saw Mr. Habersham, brother. That's Mr. Habersham. Hey, that's the way it is. And that and what they see is what they will be.
Wow.
And what I saw, all the men in my father's life or in our community, what I saw drove me to do better.
Right.
And I would never, ever forget what my son told my mother. He said, only thing I'm afraid of is disappointing my father. I remember that. I say that because a lot of people, dissing the kids certain ways, this way. But that was, to me, that was powerful. I never had to do anything to him based on that. Never. But now, he gets too much, but it's okay though. But I'm just paying my way so he won't put me in the worst nursing home in the world.
Right. I know what you mean, Bird.
Yeah. I really appreciate this opportunity to express my visions of the 100. Like I said, we're planning to fortify the membership, get more youth involved by way of the Emerging 100, the Collegiate 100, and just be engaged our community partners, be out in the community a little more, and do more things with the community. Those are things I want to do.
There's a website and a phone number on a website. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's 100 Black Men, mmg.org. 100 Black Men, mmg.org. We also have a donate button. If it's $1, $2, $3, it all helps because we're giving it back to the community. Trust me, we're giving it back. and I'll be a good steward for your money.
Thank you so much. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Having interviewed a phenomenal, I can call him young man because he's younger than I am, who's very involved in the community, who's very sociable, but knows how to have that kind of balance, who gives back in the community, who supports the community, who loves downtown like I do. And speaking of downtown, we're going to have our Project Bad, which is a downtown initiative that we're having monthly. The next one is going to be on August the 21st. And while we're talking about other activities, August is Black Business Month. And I'm happy to be interviewing today a Black businessman who's got heritage as it relates to business and who is very successful. But most importantly, I'm happy to be interviewing somebody who understands that we all got an obligation, particularly if you're Black. Everybody does. But as African Americans, we absolutely do. You know, particularly those who were able to accomplish some things, because, you know, we standing on somebody's shoulders, you know, and I just don't think we ever need to forget that. And we need to put other people on our shoulders to try to lift them up in the community. So I'm just so happy that we've been able to converse with Mr. Bruce Riggins, the president of Cicero Movers, C&R, Cicero's, which is it?
Cicero's Moving and Storage, LLC.
Cicero Movers and Storage, LLC.
That's right.
And then I've called Bruce, where you at, man? I'm in California, I'm in Oregon, I'm in Nebraska. He's all over, but he runs the company and he loves the work and he loves the drive and he is successful, and I am so proud of him. You know, he bought 2 new trucks, a red one and a what? Red and what?
Gray.
A red one and a gray one, and those things don't cost peanuts. So as a young entrepreneur, I'm just very proud of him. I'm proud of the kind of role that he's playing and his understanding of that it's not all about him, but he has to be involved in the community. And I would like to see that permeate throughout the community. And I would like to see other people, other entrepreneurs, other established and not so established, soon to be established entrepreneurs be involved and take that same kind of spirit about community involvement and making a difference in the community. Talk about the golf tournament once more.
And one other thing, Alex, I must say this. I need somewhere to sleep tonight. So my wife does a fabulous job of running the office while I'm gone.
Okay.
And she does that while I'm here too.
Okay.
They basically kick me out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Since you're going there, my wife did an outstanding job of planning this interview and all the rest of the interviews. And while we're talking about the interviews,
no, but I'm just
yeah. While we're talking about interviews, I want everybody to know that we're now on podcast. You know, we're on Spotify and iHeartMedia. So any interview that you hear on a call to action, then you could go to those podcast locations and hear it. Give a shout out about the golf tournament once more.
Yeah, well, golf tournament, please. It's a 2-man scramble, October 4th at the Brickyard. You can go to 100blackmenmmg.org to register. And we'd love to have you. It'll be a great time. Every year it's a great event.
This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed the president of 100 Black Men in Macon, Middle Georgia, Mr. Bruce Riggins. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everything that you're doing, you have done, and will do. Keep up the good work. I'm Alex Habersham, your host for A Call to Action. Have a great day.